And let's welcome in Brad Sellers for a little playoff talk with your Cleveland Cavaliers.
Times.
That's some BS right there.
No question. No question.
Hey,
Man, is it good to see your
good
face?
to be
they
here.
done draped you out in the gear, I see.
You see I'm with the gear.
Yeah.
I see him with
Yeah.
the gear. They draped
That's
you
right.
out.
See the hat.
Team official gear.
First of all, how have you been? It's been a minute.
I'm good. Man.
Everything
I'm
good?
Everything is good. I'm glad to be here. I was thinking,
It's great to have you.
man,
Great to have you.
500 shows.
Unbelievable.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It really is.
Before we get, I gotta give you your flowers. Before we even get to this, this was a show about a year ago, and Brad predicted the explosion of the women's game.
I mean,
Yes, he did.
You predicted.
You were on it.
You said Final Four is in Cleveland. You talked about what it's going to look like, and now, like after that run,
it beat the men's tournament in the
Yeah.
ratings.
how did it? Because you really into the women's game, and you obviously your daughter, a future WNBA player. How was that to see the game explode like that?
Well, I guess from my standpoint, I have been following it from AAU. I've seen the talent that was down there. And what is attractive about the women's game is that, one, they've been taught it the right way.
Fundamentals.
They play it the way it's supposed to be played.
Right.
This new thing in the men's league is hijacked. Somebody around for you. I don't even know who on Ohio State team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Which is sinful, right?
I know.
And so, but it was caused, the NCAA caused it themselves,
Yeah.
right? And this is the byproduct. And the women's game, there's a talent of young women coming through the system now. These are the ones that were in AAU with Cheyenne. This is who's down there. They're going to have a long run here.
I hope
a long run here.
There are some that think that with Caitlin Clark gone, that there's going to be a big drop off now. What do you say to that?
No, there's some ones behind her, and because it's only going to get better.
Right.
She's moving the needle, and I don't understand. Some of the hate that she gets.
I don't either. I don't either.
And it's like, because what she's doing is not doing a disservice to you. She's actually helping everybody out. Yeah. For her, when I look at it, it's Bird and Magic for me, right?
Oh, wow.
Remember, because Magic was the first one that had. Remember, Magic got the first $1 million contract. Everybody was like, $1 million. You got over 25 years.
25 year right.
But you got $1 million. But those two were the ones that moved the needle. That wasn't nothing against Oscar Robertson and Will Chamberlain.
Right.
Those were the ones that moved the needle. Now, what happens is they should be thankful. Not that she's opening the door, because now the Players Association and the league should come together. Did you know they're down there, the women who are in WNBA, 12-year, 13-year veterans, have no pension, have no insurance?
And a high tide rises all boats.
It's criminal.
Yeah. She's going to lift the sport. A lot of people were angry when they saw what her contract was, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
She's making $75,000 a year.
Yeah.
She's it, and she's making $75,000 a year. And I watched and read a lot of different pieces as to why that is. And obviously the TV contract in the NBA compared to the WNBA, the WNBA TV contract is $60 million. Now that's going to change.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks were rightfully saying the biggest reason that she's making so little money is the Players Association has no gas yet.
They had no leverage.
That's changing.
It's changing. Here's the story. It's all going to change, because you're right. What fuels any league is the TV money. Well, let me tell you something. I don't see the men's game getting popular anytime soon. The women's game is popular. Why?
It is growing.
Because you get to know these kids from the time they were 18 to 22. You actually can follow them and like, yes, that's who it is. And I'll tell you the other thing about women's basketball. Who follows it is the entire family. It's not just one or two people in the family. It's the entire family.
Right.
And so that turns into clicks, viewers, everything else.
Sure.
But to the point where it passed the men's tournament in ratings, it was.
I never thought I'd see that.
The women's championship, I believe, was the highest rated non-football sporting event in like 5 years.
You're right.
Except for maybe one soccer match. I mean, it's
beat
crazy.
all the NBA Finals games.
Yeah, World Series, all of it.
It didn't just grow in terms of comparing it to women's basketball.
Yeah.
It was eclipsing men's sports that have been wildly popular.
I believe the WNBA draft ratings were up like 350%.
They were.
Huge number for the draft.
Because now they're outside of their shell. I saw more commercials, more Instagram
you're seeing them
followers.
a lot on that too.
Like, they self outside of the basketball court. You actually get to know them like Cardoza. I was like, dang, who's this? This girl is a monster.
The other thing on the flip side, I can actually know you well enough to hate you. I don't like you.
Right.
I don't like you.
Right.
That's gone in the guy. I don't even know who these dudes are.
No,
right? I really don't know who they are.
The Ohio State roster, I'm a Buckeye fan too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's turned over with the portal and all that, and they've got a lot of nice kids coming in. But even in that situation, these kids will be there for a year
It's
and
one
then
and
they'll be
done.
gone.
Well, think about it. How many the women drafted in the top 10? I think most of us knew at least 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I don't know who's being drafted in the top 10 in the NBA.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
No.
I said the thing about it is that it is the unanticipated consequences of the NCAA's failure to. They should have cut a deal in the 90s. Because the student athletes, all they wanted was some basic stipend.
Sure.
If they hadn't been so greedy,
If they hadn't been greedy,
right.
this thing would not even be here.
No, I agree with
All
that.
you do put $3,000, $4,000 in somebody's pocket.
That's easy.
You're gonna get
Because they just
nothing.
wanted money to eat and things of that
We
nature.
just want gym shoes.
Right.
Yeah, give me some gym shoes and a pizza. That's all I wanted. I didn't want too much. But the last time you was here too, I would believe it was playoff time, and boy, the Knicks was giving us the business. How have the Cavs changed this year against Orlando from last year?
Well, I think they're just a year older and a year smarter. They got the scars of last year. Everybody sees it, right? And then and then I was laughing at people, talking about the last game of the season, right? I said, man, people, who wants to play the hardest team possible, right?
I ain't doing that.
You're looking for matchups, right? It's no different than an NFL guy saying, I'm sitting the starting quarterback the last game of the season. Y'all sit down, right? I'm not playing my players here,
Sure.
right? It's the same scenario. Now, what we need to do is get out of the first round. I think that's the first key.
Right.
Can they win in Orlando? Orlando's a pretty good home team.
I said that. I said that on the air the other day. I tell you
heard
what, the game to get for me is 3.
Yes.
Don't be fooling around down there.
No.
Do not fool around down there. You got to go get game 3 here, and you get game 3 here.
You're right.
Then we'll finish it. We'll figure a way to finish it out. Yeah. But if you go back down there and fool around and let them get life, because one game will give you life.
Yeah.
And they've been a good team at home.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's funny, Brad, the Cavs really aren't playing well on offense.
No.
They're playing good defense, but they really haven't. They've shot the ball poorly from 3 in these.
Well, I
first
think,
games.
and the only good thing for us that Orlando shot it worse than we had.
They can't shoot.
Oh my God.
They
like
can't
all
shoot.
time bad.
And I was like, so for us, we just need to figure out a way to get out of round 1. And I will tell you this, though, what I have been impressed with, Donovan Mitchell's response, because he hears it too. Like,
And Jared Allen, too.
And then I was going to Jared.
sorry.
Because
Yeah.
Jared is carrying the scars from last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's talked about it all year long. He said, I got the narrative. This is the story. Until I rewrite it, and I can only rewrite it in these playoffs as where I can rewrite
It's
it.
mature of him to know that.
And he has played lights out, not just this stretch. He's played lights out the entire season.
All year.
All season long.
What was with Suggs? When Suggs went down, I thought, well, we've seen the last of him for the series.
This is the new soccer game.
Man, did he?
The European
I'm not
soccer
kidding.
game. Hey, Jay,
They carried
Jay,
him off the
I
floor.
fell out.
They carried him off the floor, and he's back there in the second half.
You done killed me.
It was unreal.
Look, I said this. Oh, he's done.
I did too.
He's done. And then I looked at halftime. You in the lineup?
Yeah, I said the same
Yeah,
thing. When he went down, I said, oh, it's a sweep.
Hey.
Because, he's a menace defensively. And by the way, how much do we hate Mo Wagner after just 2 games?
Listen, Mo Wagner he's the new Lambeer, right?
He is.
Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, Kelly Olynyk. Yes, you're right.
Hey, OG, he fell out like when you used to fall out in the store and you only did it one time.
Yeah,
'cause
your mom
got
whooped your
you. She said, "Oh, I got you." When we get to the car, you done fell out. People were looking at, what's wrong with him? Don't worry about him. We got him when we get home.
I want to deal with this.
We go in one time and one time only.
Gee, they carried him off his leg. I said, oh, his leg.
I said, this is crazy. Now, the game 3 is the game.
This is it.
You get game 3. You basically let them know this is all done.
If you win 3, that's over at no more than 5.
Well, this
Would be a gentleman's sweep.
Yes,
This
it
is what
is.
I've hoped for. I've hoped for that the Cavaliers come out and play strong, win the first series. I've hoped for Miami to take Boston to the brink.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what we have here.
Yeah.
Do you think Miami can do that, though? Boston looked pretty good in game 1.
Yeah, they did look pretty good.
But
But you
Boston
know what? Now, this is what I say, Jay. Boston has a tendency to fall into not the Boston of old times. Because sometimes you'll get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and you don't know what they're doing. Right?
Is it complacency, you think?
I don't know if it's complacency or it's built into their character. Right? I don't know
Lack
that.
of focus.
Right? every year they've fallen off somewhere along the line, right? So I don't know when it's going to materialize, but I know this. Somewhere along it's going to materialize.
Can you imagine the Knicks and Cavs in the finals?
Oh, my God.
In the East Finals?
So while we're on that, it's been some great playoff basketball.
Oh, my God. It's been fantastic.
It's been outstanding.
It's been fantastic.
Well, the Knicks win over the Sixers in Game 2.
Hey,
the Lakers blowing that lead. Yeah.
Nick Nurse got fired.
Oh, man.
Did you not come out and say, okay, if they score the basket, we're going to immediate timeout?
Yeah.
Yes.
I said, and did not Kyle Lowry look like Isaiah Thomas throwing the ball into Larry Bird? I said, oh, my God.
What are you doing?
I said, what are we doing here?
What are you doing?
Because they panicked.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when a team completely melts down.
And the Lakers blew a 20-point lead.
I saw. And then LeBron's bitching and moaning about a review in the third quarter.
Jay, and then I saw, you got to go to Twitter and stuff like that afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And the comments were like, MJ would have hit that.
That's always the case.
I got
MJ wouldn't have blown that lead.
I was so petty.
I think people are petty.
I went to the Valleys, L.A. I went to your man Big Game James Worthy and Robert Ory was sick.
So Magic tweeted
about it.
Sick.
Oh, Magic
tweeted about it. He said there's no one to blame but yourself.
You can't blame the refs after the game.
Especially on a third quarter call.
Yeah,
I went to the Twitter hate. Let's see the X hate. Let's see what.
It was everywhere from Laker Nation.
By the way, though, I will say that the way they use replay in the NBA is awful.
I hate it
It
too.
takes forever.
That's too much.
I hate it too.
I like go back to old school. I'd rather live with the referee.
Yes, live and die with it in the moment. And let it go.
I'm tired of everybody. Every time you do something stupid, they doing this. Yeah. No, we ain't reviewing that, dog. That's on you. No, stop. No, we're not doing that. That was an
Players
obvious
think
foul.
they never foul. Players think they never foul.
And then the coach is like, no, we only got one challenge.
Back to the Cavs and Magic. I know the Magic are built. They're just a team that gets to the line a lot.
Yeah.
What, if anything, can the Cavaliers do to stop taking the bait on all of these fouls? Because they're gonna, if they win a game in a series, I think it's going to be because they've been to the line too much and they finally hitting their free throws.
Well, the thing I say is this: that if they start hitting the 3-point shot, it could
it's
be
different.
It could be trouble for us, right? So what I want us to do, Jay, is obviously control our emotions. Play like we've been there before. We have, right? I said you're carrying the scars of last year, and I think that everybody sees that.
Right.
But I think when Donovan Mitchell comes out and plays like that from the beginning, it sends a comfort level message to everyone else. And I need Darius to really get going here, right? Because if we have any aspiration of really getting into this playoff.
Well, he had a stretch in game 2 where he just took over the game.
Yeah. But then when Donovan comes back in, he reverts back to this secondary.
Is that
third
because
role,
there can only be one alpha on the floor at any time?
I can't figure it out because, and G knows this, and Jay, you know this from playing. You have to carve out your space here.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Cheyenne when we got put out. Maryland got put out in the first round of the NCAA tournament by Iowa State. We were up in Stanford playing, right? And so she has a great stat line. I mean, she has 19 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. I said, you 6 for 11. I said, Cheyenne, I was sort of with her and the coach, Brenda Freeze, at a meeting. And I said, let me tell you something. You 6 for 11. We lose by 5, but we needed 22 shots out of you today.
Yeah.
Not 11.
Yeah.
I said, you have to hunt this. You have to hunt these shots, right? Because you have to know in your mind, I got to go. I can't wait.
Got to be the alpha.
What type of time we on? Like you got to understand the moment.
Yeah, and you got to understand the moment.
And sometimes Darius, like when Donovan ain't on that court, that's when you supposed to go crazy. You supposed to get it. And I don't mind Darius. When a couple times in the last game, he came off the screen and he was looking for a shot. Mm-hmm. He was looking for. He wasn't trying to probe and look. He came off shoulder square. Let's pull up. I think he got to get back to that aggressive level.
You're a legitimate threat here, right? And don't minimize your talent here.
Right.
But we need a couple dogs here going at it, right? Yeah. And I said, when you do that, now it's different.
Sure.
Now, because I very well expect tomorrow night to see Orlando tee up on Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And say, go ahead, Jared Allen.
Make someone else beat them.
Go ahead, Evan Mobley.
Right.
You have all the fun you want.
But it's not going to be their superstar.
He's not going to be this one here.
Is that a smart? Do you like that?
Well, Orlando doesn't have that many options.
No.
It's not that many options here.
They're a good defensive team.
Right.
But it does start with the head of the snake.
If I can neutralize the top dog.
Yeah.
What happens to the rest of the body?
And then they're going to watch for the extra physicality.
Oh yeah, come on.
That's coming.
Lay some wood.
That's coming.
But let me ask you this, Brad. Obviously, last year, everybody was criticizing the Cavs for being soft. They got out-muscled by the Knicks all series. And they have been tough in this series when the Magic have tried to bully them.
Yeah.
How big has it been having guys like Strus and Niang with their playoff experience, even having Morris and Tristan back on the bench who have shown you toughness? And is that adding to their being a little tough out there?
I think we got more guys that know what to do this time. And then I would say this. It's been a little more physical, but it hadn't been physical yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting.
No, but they haven't cowered, to Bull's point. Last year, as soon as the action got tough, they shrunk. They were out of the building.
But I will say this, to Bull's point, they have responded, but what happens when Orlando, somebody has to ratchet it up.
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
It hadn't ratcheted up. Because then when it ratchets up, who's going to beat it?
And I don't even know if Boston's that team. The Knicks are that team.
No, this is a little Hardenstein and Hardenstein, whatever he's doing. I mean, they basically punked Philadelphia. I was like, oh my God, Philadelphia. They're killing Philadelphia and Philly. They're killing them.
They old school. They remind me of the old school Knicks, like
the 90s.
The Oakley and Smith.
And then here.
Well, John Starks was on the baseline.
Melo, all them. Did you see? Have you felt the energy inside the Garden?
Oh, unreal.
That's unbelievable.
That's what it used to be like.
That organ is 5 times louder.
Hey, listen. Hey, G. I know that organ well. Like, they go to organ. They go to music.
It's like the cello in Jaws.
Oh my God.
You hear it coming, and the crowd just reacts to it, and it's over. It's a wrap.
Brad, great to see you.
Man, I appreciate you guys. 500 shows.
500
shows.
Man.
500.
We was sitting up in the studio just like, is this even going to fly? How long are we going to be here?
Stuck with us now. Brad, great to see you.
Good to see you guys. Appreciate